We start by going to our model wizard. Then we'll be dealing with a 3D space dimension. So we select 3D. Then, which brings us to our physics. So for this physics, we'll deal with electromagnetic heating. And also we'll deal with dual heating. Okay. So we have heat transfer in solids. We have electromagnetic heating. I think we can go to steady. Okay. Okay. So first, we'll go to our geometry and we're going to insert sequence. So, we insert our sequence, choose the power transistor geometry sequence. Given that, you go ahead to build or quickly go to our parameters to input our parameters. So first we have name, and the expression will be 1 to the power 1 power 5. And power 5. And we have also the units. Let's the expression the units there quickly. So, okay. We have here also we have Q, H, 1 to the power. Also we have H coefficient. That would be other 5. We want this expression to be times K. Gonna be W. All right. Want to add material from the library. Go to our inbuilt. We'll add this. We'll add copper. We'll add silica glass. Also want to add a solder. Okay. So as you can see, we've added our materials in our work. The copper is going to be selected for all the domains. Okay, so let me deselect these. So that you're going to select the copper for all domains. Shift this, deselect or copper will be for all domains. So that's how we want this to be. We want to also look at it, transparency. So once you've selected the region for copper, the copper region, which is going to be all the domains of this work, we'll quickly go to select the other domains where this part should be. We want this to be this region. That's where we want the circuit board to be. The circuit board is this region. The silica glass is going to be, I'm going to select, okay, we're going to make the silica glass this region. Then go to the solder. We're going to select a solder. The solder is going to be this region, as seen over here. So later we're going to define the physics. We're going to make some changes to where the physics, some parts of the physics, some modification that has to be done over here, the materials constant and everything. We're going to make some changes to it as we move on. So for now, we just want to define the domains of all the regions. Okay, so let's go to electric currents. And as you can see, this is for all the domains. We want to have a particular region for these domains. 7. We want it to be for a particular region. So I want it to be for sometimes it's difficult selecting them. I want it to be for 2 to 7. Okay. As you can see, I want this part to be selected for it, and also I want this region to also be selected for it. So we have something like this. So this the region that we select for the electric current. I want to add the ground to it. Ground, I want it to be for some particular regions. Over here. There's some few regions. So as you can see over here, here, and here, that is the ground that I selected, that I've chosen to be the ground. I want to add current density, and I want that region to be here. And we want the normal current density to be like this. We're going to define how it's going to be over here. E minus 3 and J C. This is where region 10 is, as you can see. So we go ahead, let's move on. Still to add another normal current density to, that'll be at region domain 5. So as you can see where domain 5 is, then we have to input the normal current density over there. We need to input the value of this normal current density. J, let's go C, E. This to be a small j. Add the normal current density to this region. And that will be 1 minus 3 and j. So it's about just selecting domain and inputting certain values over there, values that we want to apply in there. Okay. So that's it for the electric current. I want us to move to the heat transfer. And we're going to add a heat flux, which will be for all boundaries. And if you move to the heat flux, let's check the convective heat flux such that the heat transfer coefficient will be what we define in our parameters. We want to go to the heat sources. Heat sources to add a boundary heat source. Yeah, so this is what we want to do. We want to add a boundary heat source. Should be, no, this should be for other transistor chip. Yeah, that's what we want it to be. So after we've added the transistor chip, this is where the transistor chip is. And let's define the general heat source, which will be here, which this is not defined yet. Expected value is okay. Okay, so you just made a little mistake, which I think in our parameters, realize that the value that we placed in there for QH, the unit is quite different from what we just input over here. So realize that that's how come the unit of this value is different from the expected value over here. So I'll go ahead to make some changes over there. So when we get back, realize that that little mistake has actually been solved. It was just a mistake that we did earlier by, instead of inputting W, we actually went to input A. So now that we have done with that, I think we can move ahead